More than 21,000 people are dead and thousands are injured after a 7.8 magnitude earthquake rocked parts of Turkey and Syria on Monday.
And thousands of people who survived lost their homes. Kirsten Cole joining us live from Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, with much more on how the community there really stepping up to help. So many supplies needed and resources, Kirsten.
Yeah, good morning to you, Dan and Hazel. And there are so many people who live here who are of Turkish origin, roughly 500,000 people in New York outside of Turkey. And that's just an incredible population. So many people who have so many ties back in Turkey as well. And they're making sure that they're doing everything they can to help the survivors of this earthquake. I want to bring in Mehmet Kalik with me this morning. Thank you so much for being with us with the Brooklyn Amity School, the Turkish Center here. Talk about how you conceived of this idea to bring help and how people have been responding.
Thank you so much for having me. And I think it is a devastating event that happened in Turkey. And as Turkish Americans, we could not stay at home doing nothing. So we wanted to reach out to the community members, either Turkish Americans or non-Turkish Americans, to bring in their donations and sending all these donations back to Turkey.
You started emailing immediately. You
Yes.
started talking about what it was that you needed. How did people respond?
You know, we had amazing turnout. The people, they wanted to bring in donations of winter clothes, baby formulas, or women hygiene products, and so many. It's not only the Turkish Americans who came, but also the parents, teachers, and students. They brought amazing, donations to this campaign. And all these campaign, we have volunteers that are collecting all these products of, blankets.
And we're showing your warehouse. We're showing everything that has been collected. You have been airlifting each and every night. So we're close to JFK here.
Yes.
You pack all of this up with volunteers and get it out into containers and airlift it every single night to go over to Turkey.
Absolutely.
And what happens when it gets there?
Well, up until now, we sent 7 containers of donations, and when they reached Istanbul, AFAD, the Disaster and Emergency Management Agency in Turkey, they are receiving the donations and they are distributing to the victims in need.
It is just incredible to see how nimble you are on this end here in the New York side and on that end, especially given the amount of devastation, the amount of damage that we've seen to the infrastructure over there. And we know also hobbling all of these efforts and making it doubly difficult is just this incredibly unseasonably cold weather as well.
It is very cold. In Turkey, especially in the eastern part of Turkey, it is minus 14 Celsius. It's very cold and people are in tents. Some people are staying in cars in this cold weather. They definitely need our help. So we are hopeful that all these donations, blankets, coats and boots, that they will help them and keep them warm.
Because literally they have lost everything in an instant.
Absolutely. When the earthquake happened at 4 a.m. in the morning, so they rushed outside in the streets with their, clothes. So they have nothing, literally nothing. And then what happened was, after the first earthquake, they went back into the buildings to save their loved ones. So after 7 hours, the second earthquake hit, and
this is just
which increased the number of casualties, unfortunately.
So much devastation, but it is so wonderful to see how New Yorkers are responding, to see how the Turkish American community is responding. Thank you so much for being with us here this morning. And you can come to Brooklyn's Amity School and drop off donations. These are the items that are needed. Anytime, they will continue to take those because every single day they are filling containers and getting them airlifted to those who are most desperately in need in Turkey. We are live this morning in Sheepshead Bay. I'm Kirsten Cole, Pix 11 News. Dan and Hazel, it is just the New York way of getting things done.
Always.